It began on a frigid January morning. 22-year-old Jamal Carter was found dead in his apartment on the east side of Metro City. A neighbor had called 911 after hearing what she described as shouting and a loud bang. By the time paramedics arrived, Jamal was pronounced dead on the scene. Officers quickly concluded it was an overdose. There were pills scattered near the body and no sign of forced entry. The case was closed within 24 hours. But to Detective Elena Ruiz, the scene didn't sit right. She'd seen hundreds of overdose cases in her 15 years on the force. This one felt staged. Detective Ruiz had made her name solving some of the city's most high-profile murders. Smart, relentless, and known for her sharp instincts, she wasn't one to let details slip by. Her partner, Detective Marcus Doyle, chalked it up to another tragedy in a bad neighborhood. But Elena couldn't ignore the small inconsistencies. The room was unusually clean, the placement of the body too deliberate, and Jamal's laptop missing. When the toxicology report vanished from the system 2 days later, she knew something was very wrong. Elena reopened the case unofficially, digging into Jamal's background. He was an honors student studying engineering, with no criminal record, no drug history, and texts from a night before his death showed no signs of distress. She paid a second visit to the neighbor, Mrs. Hill, who insisted she'd heard an argument between two men, followed by a gunshot. Her original statement had never made it into the report. Mrs. Hill's recording, an audio message she left running on her phone that night, captured muffled yelling and a sound that could have been a gunshot. Elena started cross-referencing similar cases and found a disturbing pattern. 5 young black men had died under questionable circumstances in the last 18 months. All were ruled accidental or suicide. All involved reports filed by or associated with Sergeant Daniel Rourke. Sergeant Rourke was a departmental golden boy, decorated, charismatic, and known for getting things done in Metro's toughest neighborhoods. But Elena found internal complaints against him that had been quietly dismissed. Excessive force, racial profiling, missing footage from body cams. Each of the 5 victims had crossed paths with Rourke. One had filed a complaint after being beaten during a stop and frisk. Another had recorded Rourke on his phone before disappearing a week later. Still, Elena had no proof, just patterns. She brought her suspicions to internal affairs. They shut her down immediately. "You don't have enough," they said. "You're seeing ghosts. You want to accuse a decorated officer based on a hunch." Even her partner started pulling back, worried about their careers. Whispers spread through the precinct. Elena was warned quietly, then more directly, to drop it. But she couldn't. She knew what she was seeing. She just had to find proof. A rookie officer contacted her anonymously. He had been stationed with Rourke one night, and something had haunted him since. A stop gone wrong, a suspect who tried to run and was never seen again. He handed her a backup copy of deleted body cam footage from a different incident, showing Rourke beating a cuffed man and then turning off the camera. The final blow came from an old IT tech who had access to police system backups. He recovered fragments of the missing toxicology report. Jamal had no drugs in his system. Cause of death? Blunt force trauma. Elena uncovered the truth. Rourke led a covert group of officers known unofficially as the Cleanup Squad. Their mission was to contain threats before they escalated, meaning harass, intimidate, and, when necessary, eliminate. Their targets were almost always young black men. Some had minor records. Others were simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. The higher-ups knew. They didn't authorize it on paper, but they protected the squad. They buried evidence, altered reports, and punished anyone who asked questions. Elena knew the department would never act on her findings. So she leaked everything, videos, reports, internal memos, to a journalist at the Metro Tribune, someone she trusted. The story broke in waves. First came the public outcry, then the protests, then the federal investigators. She was suspended immediately and interrogated by internal affairs. Her home was vandalized. Her family received threats. She was labeled a traitor by some, a hero by others. Still, she stood firm. Rourke was arrested and charged with 5 counts of second-degree murder, conspiracy, and obstruction. 3 other officers were indicted. The police chief resigned under pressure. A DOJ investigation into systemic corruption in the Metro City Police Department was launched. Elena testified before Congress, describing the culture of silence, intimidation, and racism that had allowed the cleanup squad to exist. The department began sweeping reforms. Body cams became mandatory and tamper-proof. Independent civilian oversight boards were created. New leadership took over, promising transparency and accountability. But Elena didn't return. She left the force and started a nonprofit that supported whistleblowers and law enforcement. She gave speeches at colleges and community centers. Her name became a symbol for courage, for justice, for breaking the blue silence. And though she never wore the badge again, Elena Ruiz never stopped being a detective.